Welcome to the Spiro Real Estate Media Professionals Video Podcast. Spiro is a software platform to help you manage and grow your real estate media business. And in this video podcast, what we want to do is talk about the business side of real estate photography and videography and help you go really beyond just the creative side, taking amazing photos and video, and really help you truly maximize the business of your business. I'm Craig Magrum. I'm the business development and client care specialist for Spiro and the host for this video podcast. And with me is our co-host and the founder and owner of Spiro, Todd Kivimaki. So Todd, this is our very first Spiro video podcast. Kind of exciting. We're getting this kicked off, and we're really excited about helping other businesses in our industry really grow and be successful and help owners enjoy what it is that they're doing. So why don't you introduce yourself and introduce Wow Video Tours, our parent company, and Spiro, and give us a little bit about the story of Spiro, and then we're going to dive into our first question, which is a business question, which is what we're going to tackle each video podcast.
Yeah, well, thank you, Craig. I appreciate the introduction and excited to have everyone here. Our opening podcast. This is very exciting to connect with other like-minded individuals in the industry. It's exciting to get people who think about shooting walls and doors and structures, and it's nice to connect. It's a growing industry, which is very exciting, and just the technology aspect of cameras and gimbals and drones has really just added an exciting element to the industry. As you mentioned, Craig, we'll touch on some of those subjects. However, we really want to focus on the business aspect because with running any business, there's certain fundamentals and things that we've stumbled on along the way that we hope to bring to light. We've got some fabulous guests lined up to share some of their insight. And I just truly believe in a learning environment that we can all learn from each other. You can learn something from anyone. And I think if you can truly harness that ability to say, what can I learn from this individual? And take some of that knowledge and use some of that knowledge, I think we can all grow together as a community.
For sure. Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about Wow Video Tours.
So Wow started back in 2004, and I was a college student at the time. I was in my second year of school, and I was going to school for computer science. I loved the idea of programming and code. However, my parents went to sell their house when I was in my second year of school. And that was the first time that I had ever been part of buying or selling a home. So it was a new process to me, and it was an exciting process. You get to go in other people's houses and see, you get to open their cupboards, you get to see how they live, and it was exciting. So I went along with my parents to help them pick the next house that they were going to move into. Well, it was during that process that I understood that while it was fun at first, looking at many, many houses and looking at many houses that would never work for you became to be a little bit of a drag. We would show up to a house and we would walk in and now remember, let me rewind us back many years ago to a time before everything existed on your phone. You did not carry around a cell phone in 2004. If you did, it was in a zippered bag and it was placed in your vehicle, and it still had a cord that probably plugged in and was tethered in. So information existed for the MLS in particular in a book, and it was online as well, but consumers just didn't go online for everything. You asked your neighbor, you asked a friend, you asked someone at church, and you used the information that they had to help you with your decision. So it was very quickly in this process that I understood that we walked into many houses where my parents would walk in and say, this doesn't have an open staircase. And I would be standing on the front doorstep. I wasn't even in the house yet. And we ruled the house out before we even got in the house because one of the features was missing. And at the time I was into video productions and I was shooting weddings and all kinds of different things. And I thought, well, there's got to be a better way that we can put some video of a home online so that consumers can understand what they're going to or potentially what they're buying. By the way, it's the largest purchase of their entire life.
Right.
So they can understand some of that information before they go. So that's really how WOW was born and kind of into existence.
WOW really led to then development of some software, because you mentioned you were into coding and programming as well. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it became my senior year of college, and I had been working WOW for a couple of years, and it was an idea. I was so passionate about WOW. I love the idea of creating my own business. I was driven by growth. I was driven by not only growth of business, but making more money, and the idea that I could be the owner of my own business, and I love that responsibility. My senior year rolled around, and I was shooting more and more homes, and I needed a senior project, and I had the flexibility to choose what I wanted to write as a program. So I decided to code a piece of software that would manage all of my shoots. So at the time, I was sending emails, individual emails. I found a couple, side note, I found a couple of them about a month ago, and I laughed at how, I was typing every email out, and I was keeping track of it on paper.
Oh, wow.
Long story short, I basically created software that would manage the delivery process of photos and video. Well, in fact, at the time, it was only video because we only shot video at the time, but the delivery of the content to the agent. And little did I know, I created the first media software for real estate marketing. And, used that for a couple years, and then we transitioned out of that. But that's really how Spiro, and it wasn't called Spiro at the time, we came up with this very clever name. We called it the database. But that's how the database was born, and the idea of how can I manage a lot of jobs with a piece of software.
So each week we're going to take really one question, and we're open to people submitting questions as well. You can email us at hello@spiro.media if you have a question that you'd like to see covered. But we're going to cover really one topic at a time, spend maybe about 10 minutes on it, and just give you something that we've learned and experienced, and help you take that knowledge and apply it to your business, and just see it work for you, because we've learned a lot over these years. So Todd, the first question that we want to tackle this week, it has to do with brokerage deals. A lot of us, when we're first starting out, we're kind of nervous about that first sales presentation. We're meeting with maybe one realtor that we know, maybe it's a friend, and we're making that first pitch. And that can be, it's a good way to start, but it's hard to scale working one realtor at a time. So the question is, how do I present to a brokerage or meet a broker, himself or herself, to maybe talk to the entire company and really get, business rolling quickly here?
Yeah, this is a question that's very near and dear to my heart. And if I look back over the history of WOW, last year we shot just over 12,000 jobs. And as I look at the growth of WOW, we saw exponential growth. So our bar graphs took huge leaps when we created and nurtured these brokerage deals.
Right.
So the first thing to talk about is that's important to understand is what is important to a broker. So we're talking a broker or owner in this standpoint. This isn't a broker, just single realtor. In some of your markets, agents, they're called agents, called realtors. They are brokers. In some states, it is mandatory to get your brokerage license. But this happens to be, we're referring to the managing broker of the company. So this is the individual that is holding the brokerage license for the company that is making many of the managing decisions about the path of the company.
Okay, makes sense. That's good clarification there.
So when you look at a broker's job primarily is to, and I'm generalizing here, but is to grow the brokerage, to grow the real estate company. And a broker can see growth by a couple different ways. You can get more listings, or you can grow in the number of agents that you have. And those two items combine to create what's called market share. So each brokerage or each company looks at their market share of the city that they sell within, buy and sell within. And if a broker or a company wants to grow, they need to either get more listings or get more agents. And these brokerage deals are great at achieving both of those items. So it's important to understand that a broker wants to grow. They need to keep their agents happy. Now, it's an interesting relationship between a broker and a realtor because the realtors are 1099 contractors, and and they run their own business. So they, for the most part, listen to their broker, but the broker can't, unlike if you've had a position before where you've had a boss, your boss can tell you what to do as a W-2 employee. It's a little bit different in the brokerage standpoint. Honestly, really, the broker kind of works for the realtor. It's a job to make sure that the brokerage has tools, has learning, has people that can help the individual realtor succeed in growing their real estate business. So it's important to understand that the broker is always looking for tools and ways that they can make their agents more happy and that they can attract more agents to come into their company.
Right. They want to add value to these realtors.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So where does our type of industry fit into this? You mentioned that we're one of the benefits that a broker will bring to a realtor. How do we get in front of the broker to sell that proposition that, hey, we can add value to what you're doing for your realtors?
Yeah, great question. So the first step is that you need to make a good amount of their agents happy. Now, there are some brokerage deals that I can look back upon that we have that I called the broker and I was able to get a meeting with the broker. Typically, it doesn't always happen that way. These are individuals that are in charge of many agents. Some of our largest brokerages, they're in charge of hundreds and hundreds of agents, doing billions of real estate transactions a year. So these aren't individuals that you're just going to call up and get a call. You're not going to email and get an appointment. But what we do see success in is that if you can get into some of their agents and make them happy, turn them into raving fans, we find that you're much more successful at booking a meeting with the broker when one of their realtors comes to the broker and says, hey, I've really got this great vendor, this media company, and they've got some ideas about doing media as a whole for the real estate company. Would you sit with them? So that referral is going to go a long way with you. So find a couple of key agents, heavy listers or influential agents that have been in the industry for a long time. Take care of them, give them great service, and then ask for a referral to their broker.
Makes a lot of sense. What's really kind of the impact of when you're talking to a broker and you're pitching the idea of shooting for all of the agents the realtors in that brokerage. What's the impact for the brokerage of starting to do video tours or photos for a majority of those realtors? Can you give any examples?
Yeah, it's a great question. So firstly, a broker or a company is always going to improve or have a better marketing face if all of the agents are consistent with the level of marketing they do. So a typical thing that I talk about with brokers is the fact that when our brokerage plan will raise the floor of their marketing. So again, individual agents, they can market however they would like. They are all individually their own business. Some can do it with their cell phone. Some can hire a professional. Some could draw a picture if they would like. It is honestly whatever they would like to do. But if you can when we create brokerage plans on a company level, we are giving a tool that's consistent for everyone. So immediately we have raised the floor of their marketing as a company as a whole. That not only helps the company, but that helps the individual agent as well.
Okay, Todd, let me rewind a little bit. I was just thinking about something you had talked about in your previous point about getting that introduction to the broker. Assuming you get a meeting with the broker, How do you approach that meeting? What's the structure of it? How do you make that presentation to a broker?
Yeah, so you've developed a few raving fans and you've had success to get a meeting with a broker. So this is an exciting meeting. This is a nerve-wracking meeting.
For sure.
At least for me, and not because they're scary individuals, but there's a lot riding on this. I can remember some very key meetings that I had with some very important individuals at companies that led to very large deals. So first off, you want to make sure that you are ready and prepared. You understand their company, you have good examples, and you have a point and a direction that you want to head in the meeting. I would suggest that you do not start off the meeting by selling. Do not start off by showing your products and services. I think it's great to really understand the goals of the broker. So you can ask some easy open-ended questions like to the broker, are you currently marketing consistently among every listing? This is typically a no, because remember, the individual agents market however they would like. Cell phone picture, professional photos, somewhere in between. Your goal here is to get the broker to begin to give you it's like a soft close is what the sales perspective term is. But you're getting them to say yes. Do you see the importance of all of your agents marketing consistently with photos and video? Yes, I do. I can see how. And once you ask the question, this is advice from my older brother, just shut up. To
Right.
be blunt. Don't over talk. I have a problem with that.
Yeah, you and me both.
Ask the question and you will get gold in the answers. I suggest you take notes. Go in with your pad and paper. Ask them if you can take notes. Shows that you're paying attention and shows that what they are saying is important to you. So your goal is to go down a path to get them to basically give you some soft yeses that marketing is important. Do you see how this could be a recruitment tool, or how could you recruit? Do you see that you could recruit more agents by offering a program where you've systemized photo and video for them, or marketing for their listings for them? Oh yeah, this could be a great marketing tool. We could give it to our recruitment director. We could give it to our trainer. So they're going to talk out loud and they're going to process some items. So it's good to get an idea of kind of what their goals are for marketing as a company. I can tell you as a whole, every owner or broker wants their agents to market better. Every agent and broker is trying to add tools to their company that will help them attract more agents into their company. And every agent or broker is trying to get more listings. How do you get more listings? By marketing. So you're set up very well in this presentation that the broker is going to want what you have and want all of their agents to do it. Not only do they look good, but you need to make it easy and simple for them with a consistent product and quick turnaround time.
There you go. And as in your market, as one brokerage starts doing that and utilizing your services and your program to get that more consistent marketing, other brokerages are going to feel that pressure to do the same thing because they have to keep up. They have to try and one up, and that's just more opportunity for us as the photography company and videography company to be able to do that. So yeah, it's an exciting industry.
It is. That's such a great point, Craig. I can't tell you how many brokerage deals that we signed the brokerage deal and the competing company down the road called me, 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, because this really does have a huge impact. This isn't smoke and mirrors here. If you can get all of the agents marketing consistently, this is a gap that every broker is trying to solve. They all want their agents to market better. And a deal between you and them can really put that into fruition.
And ultimately, I always like to think of the end the end goal is you want your home sellers who are our direct clients. You want them to be happy and satisfied with the services that the realtor is providing them. That they know they're being taken care of, and that the realtor is doing everything they can to really provide value to help that seller get the most out of their home. So it's a win-win for everybody.
It truly is. It's their largest purchase. It's a stressful situation buying and selling a home. And I can't tell you how far it goes to create great memories of their of their property with photo and video, drone, 3D, whatever services you do. It really turns those buyers and sellers into raving fans for the agents, and then the agents get referrals. It's no different than you turning the agents into raving fans to get to the broker. The real estate agent tries to turn their buyers and sellers into raving fans so that they can sell to their friends and family.
Right. Makes sense. One last question. So the nuts and the bolts of the agreement, what does a brokerage deal actually look like when it comes down to, say, how it's structured, or the numbers, or do you give a discount? You know, I was just speaking with one of our beta testers yesterday, and we were talking about, you know, a la carte services versus bundles, and do I discount the bundle to get them to buy the bundle? Same kind of question here with a brokerage deal. What's the nuts and bolts look like for this?
Yeah, great question. There's a few variables that we always look at when creating a brokerage deal. One is we want to offer more levels of service. So we don't have any brokerage deals where we offer photos only. So our brokerage deals, we sell very heavily and we educate very heavily on the power of video. 70% of our shoots last year, 70% of our 12,000 shoots last year included video. Again, it's our company name is WOW Video Tours. We start off as a video company, so we see the power in video, and we try to educate our clients with the power of video because it truly does work. So for us, we want to sell more services, so all of our brokerage deals have a photo and video in them. When we package photo and video together, we typically do discount off of the list price. Now, we have a rubric or a metric that we use based on the total number of listings that the broker will do. So the more listings they do, the more discount that they'll receive on their package price. So that is solely up to you, but a broker that shoots 2,000 listings with us a year, we give them a better deal than a broker that shoots 200 listings a year. Now, every deal is important and everybody is important, but you should think about giving precedence to your clients that are sending you the most business. So that is something that we think about. We try to put more services into these brokerage deals. We typically discount as we bundle items together. And then the other factor that we use is we ask the broker to pay or front the money for the video and photo services. So how does that look? Basically, either they're paying for all the services and fronting the bill. We don't have a lot of those because it is a large commitment to the broker. But we have many brokers or owners that are paying the bill for their agents right after the property was filmed. Then later what the broker does is when the property closes, they will take our fees out of the closing. So basically it's a no upfront cost. Cost to the agent, which takes that responsibility of writing checks for the agent when they get listings out of their court. Brokers have budgets. They're used to running more of a structured business. They're typically okay with saying, hey, yeah, I'll pay you immediately. And then when the house closes, we'll take it out of the closing. That typically is a simple thing for the broker to do. And just as a side note, we've built in all of the functionality to bill and pay and to collect inside of Spiro. We have a company pay, we have an agent pay, and it tracks all of that. It sends the monthly invoices through an Excel spreadsheet to the owner or the billing department of the company. So we've really streamlined that and made it easy for them to manage it because you don't want to be one more problem for their billing department if they are starting to bill hundreds of transactions a year. It needs to be simple. And
that's just genius, to have the company front the money. Yeah, that's going to make it great for everybody. Todd, any ending notes or any additional thoughts you wanted to include before we wrap things up here?
You know, I just can't stress the importance of creating good relationships. Our number one core value at WOW is clients are our number one priority. And I think if you treat all clients as important and you take care of them, some of them you're probably going to take care of just a little bit better. You know, you're going to have your VIPs. But your brokers and owners, you should know, you should be trying to develop a relationship with them, and you should nurture those relationships because really you're selling from the top down. And I can't stress just the importance that when a broker says we have this program and we're going to do this thing, you get so much more sell-through and adoption from their agents than you trying to go from every individual agent up.
Makes a ton of sense. Todd, hey, thanks so much for taking some time out of your day to share just the experience of Wow Video Tours and Brokerage Deals. I know this is going to benefit a lot of people.
Well, we're excited about this journey, and if anybody has any individual questions about a brokerage deal, or you want to see a metric or a rubric, or what do you think you should discount, or how should I package this, I honestly love looking at those items. Feel free to email me. Email us at hello@spiro.media. We would always be happy to help.
Awesome. Hey, for those of you watching, thanks so much for taking a few minutes out of your day to watch this video. We know it's busy season, but hopefully this has provided some value to you. And hopefully you're going to be back next week to watch another one. And again, if you, like Todd said, if you have questions or just want to explore something a little bit more, again, hello@spiro.media. You can also email me directly. If you're interested in becoming a beta tester for Spiro, let me know. You can email me, craig@spiro.media. All right. Well, that's going to wrap things up for this week, Todd. Thanks so much again. And for those of you watching, again, busy season. We know it's busy. In case you didn't know, Spiro means breath. So we're just encouraging you, take a breath this week. Have a great week.
Thanks, everyone.